Hello everyone. Welcome to our webinar today about driving conversions with online booking through Agendize. Before we jump in and get started today, I wanted to do just a quick mic check. If a few of you guys can post in the questions box that yes, you can hear us okay and everything is working, that would be great. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. Diving in today, we have two folks presenting. We have myself. My name is Russ Jeffrey. I'm the Director of Strategic Integrations at Duda. I've had numerous roles. My time at Duda, I've been here for about 8.5 years, so I'm experienced. Florentine, you want to skip to the next slide? Nope. Oh, little. There we go. Great. So I'm Russ. I'm the guy on the right there, and with me is Florentine. I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. So my name is Florentine. I've been with Agendize for 6 years or so, numerous roles too, and actually been knowing Russ and the Duda team for quite some time as we've been working on different projects, and very excited to bring our app into their store and present that to you.
Great. So guys, jumping into our agenda for the day. One is we're going to cover just a quick introduction to Agendize and how they power online booking. We're going to talk a little bit about, or Florentine is going to talk a little bit about why it's important and why it's valuable. Then we're actually just going to jump into a demo of the integration and what it looks like. You can see we're going to talk about kind of how the onboarding works and what some of the options are, how it works within the website, some customization options, and then some little more advanced features after that. We'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about plans, and then we'll have time for Q&A at the end. We do have quite a few folks from the Duda side here answering questions, so if you do have questions along the way, please feel free to go and ask those in the questions box. We will either address them immediately or we'll save it towards the end to make sure. Just a few points of housekeeping before we actually dive into the actual content. One is the Agendize app is not available today. There are a few minor tweaks and adjustments we're making to the onboarding experience before we make it available for you all. And once we have that ready, we will push it out and make it available. Our hope is that's going to be very soon. My second piece of housekeeping is we are recording this. We will send out a replay to anyone who registered. And additionally, we're going to put this up in our resource center, so it's an available webinar for replay at any time. So with all of that being said, I am going to go ahead and hand this over to Florentine to take it away and introduce us to how we can drive online conversions with booking.
Thank you very much, Russ. So quickly in a nutshell, what is Agendize? So it's the ability for your clients, for local businesses, to accept appointment bookings directly from their Duda site. And it's integrated through a floating booking widget on a Duda site that's automatically deployed there for you. So it's very convenient to launch. And it's going to be a few benefits for you, agency, SaaS or hosting companies. So first is a tool that you're going to be able to deploy on pretty much any vertical, industry, or website. And you're going to be able to craft very simple experiences. For instance, I want to book just a phone call to inquire about the company services. Or you can create more customized booking journey with, for instance, routing appointments to specific employees at a company based on their skills and the type of the appointment, spending time customizing notification templates to apply a specific branding, for instance. And all of that is going to also give you the opportunity to cross-sell with other products. So for instance, additional professional services for design, or if you are selling, let's say, a Google My Business and Facebook presence package, you're going to be able to add online appointment scheduling directly on those listings. And for business owners, Agendize is going to bring them a few things. So they all have different pain points. You're going to uncover that through conversations. And regardless if they're wanting to convert more leads, capture data, or reduce phone calls, improve their business, prevent no-shows, or just spend more time doing what they really like and what they really sign up for being an entrepreneur, Agendize can be of help. And so, for instance, it can be an auto care business who is getting a large amount of calls for very small jobs, and they already are doing a lot of quotes and they are hands-on on cars. What about we automate some of those processes about getting people book appointments for quotes? Or for instance, you are a gym center and people are messaging you at night outside your hours of operations and you want to get some work-life balance. Well, a self-serve booking can help you with that. Or maybe your pain point is you're getting a lot of cancellations, a lot of no-shows, and with COVID out there and less people at your store, you want to prevent that. So automated reminders and notification are going to be of help. Or it could be even, how can I provide a better service, a better experience to my customers by knowing them better? And automatic creation of contact profiles in the Agendize CRM, and we'll show you that, is very valuable for many businesses. But without further ado, I think nothing speaks better than a live demo. So I'm going to be jumping to Duda site editor, and I'm going to show you what will be soon live on the Duda App Store. So I created a website on Duda. It is a digital agency website. So I hope it speaks to most of you. And by clicking on the App Store, I'm able to add Agendize. So Agendize comes in 3 different packages. The main differences between packages is how many users or seats you can have, and then some of the volumes, how many appointment types I can have in my system, or how many people I can have in my databases. But the basics of the 3 packages are pretty much the same. I'm going to go with the Pro package here. Okay, and now we are going to onboard you to the Agendize journey. It's going to be a 3-step process in where you're going to provide information about your company, the type of appointments that you have, and who works at your business. Yeah, not that's my. Oh. Here we go. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the business owner here. So it's Agendize Web Services. And this is my address. In one region in California. And you're going to notice here, you have a box for industry. So we have some presets in the system. For instance, if you choose pet industry or hairdresser, we're going to suggest different appointment types. If you don't see a category listed here, just click on Other, and you can create a resource-based booking company, for instance, for if you're providing classes or restaurants or an hotel. And service-based appointments will be for most of companies is the ability to book one-on-one meetings mostly. So you're going to be able to upload what are your opening hours. Keep in mind that you can edit that later on if needed. You want to click Continue. So now, what is my web agency doing here? What is my business doing? So I'm gonna want to get appointments about UX design, and maybe another one about branding. And let's add another one for strategy. So I can set different times and durations for each appointment type. And if I want to accept payments online, I can set a payment. So for instance, a strategy session would be $100 for 1 hour. So keep in mind, service or an appointment type can be pretty much anything from a phone call to booking consultation, requesting an estimate, booking a video conferencing, or in-person service. And you're pretty much free to really tailor what is going to be the experience here. My next step is going to talking a bit more about who's working in my company. So the first person is myself. And then I'm gonna have Russ here. And I can add additional people in there too, within the limits of my package. As soon as I'm done with pretty much those basic steps, I click to go to my dashboard, and my booking widget is created. It's added to my Duda site and is operating. So actually, I can show you this right now. It's gonna quit. It's gonna refresh. And you can see here that now I have at the bottom right of my screen, I have a book now button that just appeared. If I click on it, it's gonna open my booking widget. Sorry, my internet connection is kind of slow today.
Florentine,
and
I see
opens based on the setup that I decided.
Hey Florentine, yeah. I think we should probably turn off the camera. Looks like you're getting a little bit delayed with some of your wording coming through. So I think turn it off is probably a good idea. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm clicking again to the book now here. So this widget is automatically added to the site, and it's going to be the experience that I just configured right now. So for instance, I can book a branding conversation with Florentine, click on a date and time, add my information, and confirm the appointment. And the appointment is booked. It's very easy to get started just in a matter of minutes with the tool and customizing it. So maybe it looks even more like the website you're designing or like the branding of the business later on. So a few things that the integration does is the ability to go on design and go on global buttons. You can customize what is going to be the design of the button here based on by changing colors. And it does it right away. Just note we'll be also working on the ability to drag and drop a widget. So if you don't want to use the floating button, if you want to add the button on a specific page of the website, you will be able to do so. I'm going to go back with the standard design, who was very good already. And now I'm going to show you how you can even customize further the experience in Agendize. So I'm going back to the store, opening my Agendize account. And I'm going to walk you through the backend here. So you see already here that this is the appointment that I just booked at the instant. I get all the information about the customer who booked, his phone number, his email, the type of appointment he booked with me. And if I click, let's say, on no show or completed, it can trigger notifications sent out to this customer about his appointment that has been a no-show or rescheduled, etc. Beyond the ability to accept new appointments, I can just book new ones directly from the backend. So let's say you have a front desk agent, a sales rep, or just someone who worked at the store and needs to book a follow-up appointment or an appointment for later on. You can just get in the backend, enter the appointment from the calendar, and we will take care of sending notifications and reminders. If I go on my contacts here, you will notice that I have a first record created for Edward, which is his first appointment. If I click on him, I'm going to have his contact profile with everything that I've been collecting so far, as well as all the different activities, appointments booked, and included also messages automatically sent by the platform, such as a confirmation for the appointment. Note that if a business owner already has a list of customers, let's say on an Excel file, you can just import. We provide you a template for the import, and you can just import this database into Agendize. And why would you want to do that? Well, a great way to advertise about the new booking tool or to advertise about anything else is we have a built-in email marketing model in Agendize. So let's say I want to communicate about my upcoming holidays. I can just choose a template, edit it, customize it, and hit send. And my databases of customers who opted in will now be receiving emails marketing from me. Lastly, so we saw on how the appointment appears into Agendize, how it appears into the contact database, but it's also going to create for you records in your report section. You have the ability to customize what are the KPIs you want to track. For instance, how many appointments by appointment type I'm getting, how many appointments by staff member I'm getting, what are the details, etc., and get learnings from it. And you want to prove the ROI to the business owner on a frequent basis, you can just, let's say, for instance, once a month, I'm going to email a report to the business owner to let him know how his appointments are going. Just one nice piece of settings you might want to look at is privacy policy. This is the ability for you to apply best practices in collect of personal data. So if you are under GDPR or CCPA, for instance, in California, or simply put, if your business has concerns about how data is handled, or their clients might be a bit, maybe you're selling to financial services companies or to a credit union, for instance, it's always nice to activate those collective consent that will appear in the widget, and you can work with the legal team to upload the wording that they want in the widget. So I think now it's maybe the good time to jump into the settings to show you how you can customize a bit more the experience here. So by going to my scheduling settings, you're going to see it's very self-explanatory. You can update information about the company, who works there, what are the opening hours, what type of appointments I'm opening for booking, what is going to be the booking experience and process, what is going to be the look and feel of the widget, what type of data I'm going to be collecting. Maybe I want to connect to a payment system and customize a template. And finally, connecting to third-party services, mostly calendar syncing. So we do support Google Calendar, Outlook, Office 365 for the main ones. And this will allow to only display real-time availability in the widget. So let's go through some of the main ones here. So services allows me to edit existing appointment types, but I can also create new ones. I can add pictures. I can add, for instance, I'm going to call this one a phone call about your quote. And I can say that this one is going to be not a 1 hour, but it's going to be a 30-minute appointment, and with a 10-minute buffer time for preparation before my next appointment. And maybe this appointment only Russ can perform it at the company. So this way I can route specific type of appointment to specific employees. And I can maybe even decide that because it's a follow-up appointment, it's only going to be available from the back office. So only Russ will be able to log into Agendize and book a follow-up phone call to discuss a quote. As soon as you hit save, everything is added into the widget and into the back end and into the reporting, etc. So Now let's say Russ is going on vacation. He deserves it. Or maybe he has a new cell phone. So you can just go into his staff profile, upload all this information, maybe add pictures of him, a nice description, how long he's been working with the company, for instance. You're gonna be able to customize his specific schedule because maybe him and I work different days or different hours during the week. And you're gonna be able to invite him to sync and in from advance, adding a vacation time. Now, let's say also Russ says, hey, that's great, but also what about I can let my customers book appointments with me directly from our email communications. So you'll notice here, click on the open widget, and this will generate a dedicated URL for Russ that automatically routes appointments to him, and he can just copy paste this, add it into his email signature, for instance. Sounds good, Russ? Ready to get started?
Sounds great, man. I need it already. I don't like scheduling. Yeah.
So that's more about your company and how you're working. Now, main settings about the customer experience is how are customers going to book into the widget. And you can really choose small businesses, two local businesses, two franchisees, might be from the same industry, but might work in very different ways or expect different things from Agendize, and you can tailor that for them. So for instance, I can add time zone management, or I can add appointment for someone else, which is fairly convenient. Let's say if as a parent, I want to book an appointment for my son. And this is where you can shine as an agency, pretty much like we recommend you because you are a CPA, we're not going to put select a service. We're going to change that text into the widget by let's talk to a counselor or let's talk to an advisor. Let's talk about your plan. And you can customize any of those elements here to the point that where even if you want to design a specific widget, you can import CSS and JavaScript directly in the system. You can go even further there. So you can see here as an agency, if you want to provide a quick do-it-yourself or do-it-for-me with advanced customization packages, you are more than free to do so. Next questions you might want to discuss, or maybe you might get from a business owner is, what type of appointment can I get? And someone would tell you, hey, I'm a real estate agent, and I'm going to get an appointment type. They're going to say, I want to sell my property. And in that case, you're going to be asking questions in the booking widget, maybe an additional question about where is your property located at, so I can go and look for it. Or it could be a checkbox list. How did you heard about us? Or how many rooms do you have? Are you looking for a garden? So you can really tailor what type of data you're going to ask ahead of the appointment, and I can help the business owner get prepared or get the nice documentation, or maybe have the right follow-up to do, or prepare a quote. When I leave anyways, scheduling process will let you decide what are the scheduling rules in the system. One of the main ones is, are appointments automatically accepted or need to be manually accepted by the owner? And you can also change, for instance, what is going to be the mode. This is going to be interesting. For instance, if I am talking to a law firm, maybe some of them would say, I want the process to be people saying why they want to book, and then showing them the list of lawyers. Or maybe they're going to decide what they want to book for, and I'm going to allocate automatically a lawyer to them, and they won't have a choice. Or I want to be the other side. First, choose who you want to book with, and then see what type of services they're offering. Notifications will let you decide when you're going to send reminders. So you can send up to 2. And what type of notification you are going to send to whom and for what type of trigger. For instance, are you going to send a notification when an appointment is declined, rescheduled, canceled, etc.? And do you even want to ask for a review or feedback once an appointment is completed? And why is that great is that all the templates are customizable. So you can just go into one of those and really design there to really fit how business operates, what type of branding they have. A nice one, for instance, is adding social media links or links to a blog post or a link to a COVID notice. Okay, I'm booking an appointment at a hairdresser, and there's going to be some guidelines to be able to get into the shop. So maybe I'm adding the link here to a blog post that you created already. And it's going to think, okay, I need to come with a mask. I need to come with my own pen, or it's only credit card accepted, etc., etc. Talking about making things easier and smoothing without with the less interactions possible in those times is online payments. So we do support different payment systems. You can set a price for each appointment, and you can connect to a payment system and asking for a mandatory or an optional payment at the time of the booking. Finally, calendar syncing, as mentioned earlier, we work with different calendar systems. This will allow you, for instance, you said that you are available 9 to 5, Monday to Friday in Agendize, but you already have 11 a.m. meeting on Tuesday in your Google Calendar. That time slot will become not available in Agendize for booking because you're already busy in your Google Calendar. So as you can see, it's very easy to customize. You can just go brick by brick, tailor what you need to tailor, and the business owner can do it himself, or you can do it for them. Okay, so if you want, I can jump to a different account where I have some additional information, or we can go to a Q&A, as you wish to, Rex.
Let's jump back and let's cover the plans. I think you've covered pretty thoroughly, the features and the options. So let's go over and plans. And there's a question related to that which we can answer as well.
Okay. So we have 3 plans. First one is solo, is for 1 user, so pretty much 1 calendar. Then team, you can manage up to 5 users. For instance, you have a team who up to 5 people need to manage and accept appointments. And then we have pro for up to 10 users. The main features are the same for all the plans. Some key differences, for instance, you are limited in how many contacts you can have in solo compared to team or pro, or how many type of services you can create in the starting packages.
Got it. Cool. One related question here that came in from Pettis. He's asking, for the plans, is the cost per site, or does each client have to have an Agendize plan? How does that work for me as an agency? And I'll jump in and actually answer this one.
Yep.
So Pettis, the answer is these costs are per site. So you'd be saying, great, client A needs to get access to the solo plan, so I'm going to add that on to that website. Duda is then going to charge your account for that service, and then you can go and charge your client, any price, above that to cover your margins and your fees related to that. So essentially, it's on a per site basis there. Great. Cool. Shall we next jump into Q&A, Florentin? Does that make sense?
Make sense?
Absolutely. So guys, if you do have questions, please feel free to ask those in the questions box. The one question that came in here, Florentine, I'm directing this to you, is Miles is asking, can you have multiple slots open for the same time? So when you're booking an appointment from a time perspective, can you have 2 things occur at the same time for 1 person?
Oh yeah, so you can accept multiple people in one session. For instance, if you are a yoga studio and you're going to do a class, and up to 10 people can register to this class. Another thing is, if you have 2 employees, of course they can have on different appointments at the same time. So you can set quantities like this. Yes.
Cool. Got it. Great. Next question, which is kind of similar to the previous question. Orazo is asking, can we have 2 or more non-consecutive opening hour blocks for the same time? For example, a doctor attending 3 morning hours and 2 afternoon hours on the same day.
So you can tailor what is going to be the opening, for instance, for this doctor. You can say that the practice open 9 to 6, but actually it will be only accepting appointments from 9 to 10:30 and from 11 to 12 and from 2 to 4. And you can have different things. You can, if the same doctor is going to jump from room to room, you can always set different calendars for him. There's different ways on how you want to set up. I know for experience, no business is the same. And even if there are 2 doctors, they might want their account to be set differently. And again, and you can put buffer times. I think I showed that a bit earlier. So let's say if it's taking 30-minute appointments and it needs 10 minutes to get ready for the next patient, maybe perhaps you need to sanitize the room, or maybe the next patient needs to be greeted by the secretary staff. We can take that in consideration.
Got it. Makes sense. One question from me here, Florentine. What's the list of payment providers that you guys integrate with? I think I saw PayPal on there. What was the other one you guys support?
So we do have PayPal, Ingenico, Global Payments, and another one called Monetary so far. Okay. So we have 4 choices.
Got it. And for my options for payments there, is it just like a one-time payment that happens? So it's saying, great, I'm an accountant and I'm booking an hour of time, and that hour is going to be, $150 for my hour. Is it a one-time payment, or can it be like a recurring type of thing?
So it's going to depend on how you can manage recurring appointments. You can also say, what we have some businesses do is they put a price and they put online payments, but they're mostly doing this for like a retainer. Or they say the appointment is $100, but it's $80 if you book online. It's pretty much what we do is we're going to tell PayPal, for instance, someone booked an appointment with this company, and that was the cost entered into the system, and then the payment happens directly in the payment system.
Got it. Great. Looks like Miles here is asking, is Stripe available for payments? It didn't sound like it was on the list.
Today it's not. It's in our view. It's in our roadmap. We'll let you know when it is available.
Great. Great, guys. Is there any more questions from the group here? I'm not seeing more questions come in. We'll give you guys a minute or two if there are any other questions that we wanted to cover. Great. Horacio was asking, how can a client cancel a booking?
Okay, so 2 ways. First, the client, if you activated the trigger, of course, will receive an email about his appointment, and he can just click and schedule. I think I might have an example in my mailbox here from the appointment that I just booked. So you can see here, for instance, I booked an appointment. I can just click modify or cancel, and I can reschedule or cancel my appointment. The business owner will be notified. Other way of doing things, if let's say I'm calling the business and I want to reschedule, the business owner can log into Agendize and do the edits that are necessary. For instance, I can reallocate the appointment to someone else, I can move it to a different time, or I can cancel it.
Got it. That's easy enough. Yeah. Cameron is asking, is this solution replacing Visita? And I think the simple answer, I'll take that question. And the simple answer is it's not replacing Visita. it's a different tool which has different feature sets. Agendize is very strong on the booking component and a lot of the back office features related to that. So it's not like a replacement. It's just in addition to. So Orazi was also asking what languages are supported and to what depth. And Florentine, I'll go ahead and answer. I'll direct that to you.
Okay, so we have 8 different languages, and they are both for the front end and the back end. So you could have English, Spanish, German, French. We have Dutch, Italian, Japanese, and I think I'm forgetting 1 or 2. I think Portuguese. So we have 8. I think in our FAQ online on the resource center, they're all listed. And so those can be the language of the widget and the notifications, but it can also be the back office. So as a business owner, do I want my platform to be in French or in Spanish or in English, etc.
Got it. And so yeah, so it's full kind of front to back. It's not like only the front end or only the back office. It's a end to end. That's great. Yeah, we great. The next question that just came in here from Pettis is asking, does it support an integration with Zapier?
We are on Zapier, so yes, and there's quite many different type of Zaps you can create there with us.
Great. So like you can push, like somebody books an appointment, you can push that contact information into a different system, right?
Yeah. To Vero, for instance, if you need to prepare a quote, or into Zoom if you want to schedule a Zoom session. Pretty much up to your liberty.
Yeah.
What you want to build.
Scary tools that gives you free range of almost anything. Yeah. Great. Cameron is asking, will the Agendize backend be available outside of Duda? E.g., can we manage Agendize without logging into Duda? And additionally, is there a mobile app?
Yep, that's the answer to both questions. So actually, one use case that we anticipate is going to be this one. Most of the time, the business owner who manages his website will log in into Agendize from the Duda console, but he can invite his staff to the account and actually even decide what is the level of rights and access to the account, and they will be able to log in from the web app, and we also have an iOS and Android app.
Great. So the short answer is yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Great, guys. Looks like we're wrapping up on questions here. So if that's the case, we'll go ahead and wrap the webinar up. We do have one quick reminder for the folks that are still on the line. We do have another webinar coming up on the 23rd next week, where we will be covering kind of front to back creation of building a custom widget inside of Duda. We have Sophia coming in for that. She's helped a lot of our customers and she's built several widgets on her own, so she's a great resource to come in and give some education on that. So if you want to join us for the next webinar, please do a week from now. And with that being said, I want to extend a big thank you to Florentine for coming in and doing this training and education about your product and platform and why it's valuable. We look forward to having some successful use cases coming up here from our customers.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Russ, and thank you, everyone.
Great. Thanks, guys.